Good morning, everybody. It is day 5 of the Suffering 2.0. Just heated up my oatmeal, dressed for work. It's Friday. It's crazy to think about it because, 12 weeks is actually 84 days. If you wanted to do if you want to do 90 days, it's like 12 weeks and 6 days if you want to do 90 days. 90 days is 12 weeks and 6 days. So I'm doing the full 12 weeks, which is going to be basically 84 days. I'm already 5 days in, so I'm already in the 70s. I only have 79 more days to go. It's going by really fast. I can't believe this first week is already pretty much almost done. I know I got 2 more days of the weekend left, but like the work week wise, because it's like Monday through Friday are pretty much identical to each other. And then come Saturday is my low day, and then Sunday is my high day. So Saturday and Sunday I'm home from work, so it doesn't feel like the routine. And then plus the diet changes Saturday, Sunday. So again, it feels like a break from the routine, even though it's still a part of the diet. But just to think like, man, I'm already almost a full week down of 12 weeks. It's just like, it goes so fast. And then it's like people, they don't want to get started. And it's just kind of like, I'll start next week. I'll start next week. I'll start next week. I'll start next week. Well, I'll just start next week. And then next thing you know, 10 weeks have gone by and you still haven't started. If you just would have started that week, you would have already been 10 weeks in. So, but I'm going to eat my oatmeal and I'll see you guys on my walk.
Man, another beautiful sunrise. 5 days in a row of a beautiful sunrise. Wonderful. So my weight this morning was 234 exactly. So I'm 0.2 down from where I was yesterday, which is exactly what I'm looking for, because the beginning of the week, my body is dropping glucose rapidly. And then towards the end of the week, my body starts to level out because I'm already depleted in glucose. So the weight loss slows down and it stalls. Just means my body doesn't have additional water weight to get rid of. It doesn't have anything else to strip. So then what's gonna happen is tomorrow morning when I wake up, I should be really close to the same weight that I am today. And then going into Saturday morning, which is tomorrow, I will be pretty much already depleted of all my carbohydrates from the week and doing cardio Friday night. So when I wake up Saturday and I start my low carb day, my body will have no carbohydrates to burn. So it's going to shift over to burning pretty much nothing but fat. So I built muscle all week long using carbohydrates for energy and training like a madman in the gym. And then come the end of the week, I'm depleted. As the week goes on, I need less and less energy because I'm trying to burn fat, hence the carb cycling. And then once Saturday rolls around and the muscle building phase of the week is over, now it comes time for the fat burning phase, which is the low carbohydrate day, which shifts over to burning fat for energy because I'm not going to give my body any energy. It got used to having carbohydrates for fuel. I take that from it whenever I slowly deplete throughout the week. And now the body has to go, okay, we got to do something for energy here. And your hunger shoots through the roof. Your irritability shoots through the roof for the first couple weeks till you get used to it. And then you start losing a bunch of fat. And then comes Sunday, you carb back up and repeat the process. Okay, so I'm gonna circle back to what I was talking about this morning at breakfast. I know so many people that have a hard time getting started with working out, and it's always tomorrow or next week, tomorrow, next week, tomorrow or next week. And I've always been more the type for myself that if I took some time off for whatever reason, I like to come into what I like to call a soft start. So for 50% of the day, I'll diet. The other 50% of the day, I won't. That way I can start getting used to the hunger and not be so dramatic. And then the next week, I'll go 75% on my diet during the week, 25% off, and this is every day. And then what I'll do is I'll go Monday through Friday, 100% on my diet, Saturday, Sunday, eat whatever I want Following week, I'll do Monday through Saturday on my diet, Sunday, whatever I want. You'll see where I'm going with this. It takes about a month, about 5 months, it takes about 4 or 5 weeks. And then once you get to that 5th week, you're seeing results and you're feeling better. And then you're wanting to see more results, and you're wanting to feel better and get better and lose more weight. So you naturally start wanting to do more to get more. So then you want to start dieting harder and sticking to it and getting better results and doing more cardio and training harder in the gym. And it's a domino effect. Once you get over that initial feeling of hunger and you get over that initial feeling of like dreading the hunger and then the soreness and the activities, and you slowly get back to it, your mindset shifts to like, I don't have to do this, I want to do this, and I want more from it. If I'm already going to be doing it, I might as well do it all the way so I get all the results. And that's what really works for me, and what I've noticed works for a lot of people that I've helped, friends, family, and just clients in general. And that has been a huge difference between people jumping on something and then quitting within a week or two because they can't handle the hunger, versus slowly letting their body adapt to it and their mindset shift over from like, I have to I want to. So instead of always going next week, and never getting started, just be like, all right, I'm gonna do 2 meals today. I'm gonna eat 2 meals that are more like dieting. And then next week, I'm gonna do 3 meals. And then next week, I'm gonna do 4 meals and 5 meals, and however many meals a day you're planning on doing. Work your way into it. Don't just jump into it. And you'll probably be a lot more successful, and you'll probably actually end up doing it a lot longer and being a lot more consistent with it, doing it that way. Way more efficient. And then next thing you know, 8 weeks have gone by, and you're like, dang, look at how far I've come and look at how much different I am. Now, what would be the difference if I would have started doing this sooner, or I would have changed up this sooner? What if I tighten up this and tighten up that and tighten up this? And then you naturally, like I said, start shifting your own mindset to wanting more, to get more, because you're already doing it. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and finish my walk, enjoy this morning, and just get it in, I guess. Beautiful sunrise though, man, beautiful. But no matter what kind of soft start I do to my diet, I like hard carrots. I'm not a big fan of soft carrots and certain things. It's necessary when it comes to just eating carrots. I eat them like I eat apples, raw. It's my preferred way to eat them. I enjoy them much more. That's right. It's that time of day again to get my Go Juice. I know it's decaf, and I know it's not actually Go Juice, but I love the way coffee smells, and I think I understand why I love the way coffee smells. I think it's because I affiliate that smell with energy, because whenever I smell it, it reminds me of drinking it, which reminds me of getting energy. So I think that's the reason why I love the way it smells so much. Affiliating a smell with a certain memory that triggers a good response. Like, I smell coffee, I drink coffee, I get energy, good response. Bad response. You eat a certain food, you get food poisoning, you throw up and have loose bowels for like a day or 2 in a row. Bad response. So you smell that, it turns your stomach, makes you weak to your stomach, like, ugh. But coffee, on the other hand, whenever I smell it, I affiliate it with energy, and I think that's the reason why I enjoy the way it smells so much. Okay, there you go. Heat my rice up. On the other hand, caffeine really honestly is just a synthetic energy. It tricks the brain into thinking that you're awake. So I can't remember the science exactly behind it, but I know that caffeine radically attaches to the receptors in the brain that are responsible for making you feel tired, pretty much what melatonin attaches to. Imagine a storm drain in your brain, right? Imagine a storm drain, and in that drain, okay, let me restart. Okay, imagine this is a drain, and you are awake. Well, for every hour you're awake, leaves start to cover the drain, right? This is the receptor in the brain, and so pretty much the whole entire receptor is covered, and that's melatonin, and now you're tired. Well, what caffeine does is caffeine rapidly goes to the receptor and covers it aggressively, and it pretty much makes you feel awake. It tricks your brain to think you're awake. It's not actual energy you're getting, it's just tricking your brain to thinking you're awake. If you would ask me a couple years ago, I could tell you exactly the receptors and the names of everything and stuff like that, but whatever. What's actual energy is food. Food is what gives you actual energy. If people overeat all the time and they feel tired all the time, it's because they have insulin resistance, and their insulin's always being released by their pancreas, so that means that their blood sugar level is always elevated and they just feel like crap. So people are like, oh, I'm always so tired, I need energy, let me drink caffeine, but they eat all the time and they're grossly overweight and they're super fat. Those are the people that food is actually starting to harm you and not help you. But for those that don't understand like how important food is for energy, go on a low carbohydrate diet, low fat diet. Just eat protein and do cardio for 2 hours a day, and then try to work out 5 days a week. And then eat a bunch of carbohydrates and salt and fat one day, and you'll feel like you just drank a cup of coffee. And all of a sudden you'll be like, I feel wide awake, I feel amazing, I feel great, I want to go do something. This is awesome, this is amazing. Actually, just go on a fast and fast for 3 days in a row. Don't eat anything but water, and then eat food, and you'll feel a huge rush of energy like you just got done drinking the largest energy drink in the world. So food technically is your energy. Caffeine is just a response in the brain to chemically wake it up to make you realize that, hey, I am awake. But if you don't actually have the food in your body for energy, it doesn't matter how much caffeine you drink, it's not going to give you the effect. This is why a lot of people are like, oh, I drink 4 cups of coffee and have 5 Monsters and caffeine doesn't do anything for me at all. Well, it's because either you're insulin resistant, or you are nutriently deficient, you're sleep deprived, or you have consumed so much caffeine. Like all drugs, you build a tolerance to it and it doesn't do nothing, so you need to back off of the caffeine. Because really, you shouldn't need more than 100 milligrams of caffeine, which is 1 6-ounce cup of coffee, to really wake you up and get you moving and get you wired, to be completely frank. Like that's about all the caffeine you really honestly should need to be able to get moving. Even whenever I was 290 pounds, 90 to 100 milligrams of caffeine was all I needed to be wired. That was it. It's because I was eating enough, I was drinking enough, I had enough sleep, and then I wasn't abusing caffeine for like synthetic energy because of all the other stuff that I didn't want to have to do in my life. Yeah, so anyways, yeah. And it is leg night, finally in the gym. So leg night is kind of boring compared to other nights. I don't do any drop sets or rest pause or supersets or anything crazy. What I do is I'm going to do 5 sets of leg extensions for 20, and then I'm going to do 5 sets of belt squats for 20, and then I'm going to do 5 sets of hack squats for 20. After that, I'm going to do 5 sets of lying leg curls for 20, and I'm going to come over here and do 5 sets of Romanian deadlifts for 15, and then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to do 5 sets of back extensions for 20. A lot of reps, a lot of sets, nothing crazy, high intensity. My legs respond so much better to high volume than high intensity. When I do high intensity, the only thing that happens is my joints start to become achy and painful, and my legs don't respond. Whenever I do high volume sets and reps, they just get much better condition, vascularity, and then also they grow. So that's all I'm doing tonight. I'm probably not going to record every single rep from my top set. It'll probably just be a couple reps of each set because, like I said, it's pretty straightforward and boring. This is number 5, top set. I'm doing 110 pounds. I'm going to go heavier, but this is the type of thing I build into. I don't like try to rush the weight on this because I let the volume do the work. There it is. First one's done. I have a game plan for all the volume, the reps and sets. People say, oh, it's junk volume, you do that much. Well, it isn't for me. And I know for a fact because I've done this many times in the past before whenever I was powerlifting for my assistance work. So I'll do my main work, squats and deadlifts. And this literally was the work I did after squats and deadlifts, this amount of volume. And I was a very large and very strong person. 275 was what my body weight was, and I was very large. I used to be able to do this for 405 for sets of 20. That's strong and that's big. You have to have big legs and strong legs to carry that amount of volume with that amount of weight. So my goal is to get back up to 405 for sets of 20. And same thing for the hack squats. Get back up to 365, 405 for sets of 20 on that too. And build my leg volume up by doing more volume work because they just respond better to high volume. My upper body, not really. It shrivels up. Last week I got 15 with this, so let's see if I can't get the full 20 today. Proof is in the pudding, you know. Last week I struggled to get to 15 with this weight. I think I did like 8 or 9 reps. Then I had to stop and breathe, do 1 or 2 more, stop and breathe, 1 or 2 more, stop and breathe up to 15. And today I just kind of almost smoothly went all the way to 20. So next week I'm going to go up by 10 on this. Not by 20, by 10. It's a long game. It's not about hurry up and jump the load. It's the long game. So I'll go up 10 pounds every week. I successfully hit all 20 on my top set till I get back to a weight that is respectable. And that's the thing too, whenever I would train like this, I would never actually go to failure. It was never about 2 or 3 reps in reserve, and it wasn't about hitting failure. Even if the goal was 20, and let's say you hit 14 reps, you might be able to get 15 or 16. You stop at 14, you come back next week, and you get those few extra reps building up to 20 over and over again, week after week, getting small victories of 1 to 2 reps every week over what you did the previous week, building volume, and then load, and then you build volume, and then you build load, and then you build volume. That's how I did it. So that's what I'm gonna do with my legs. far as it goes for rest, between sets, on tonight, I literally take as long as I need between sets. I don't time them, I don't care. If it's 30 seconds or 5 minutes, I rest as long as it's required to be able to do the set how I need to do it. Last week I did 55 for 10, so 55 again. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get over 55. Oh. 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 It's amazing how fast your conditioning and endurance builds when you're doing high volume. But yeah, I don't do nothing crazy. Like no supersets, drop sets, slow negatives, huge stretches, hard contractions. I don't do nothing like that on that night. It's just literally 5 straight sets of 20. And it works absolute wonders for my legs. Final movement. So on hamstrings, I like to do a curling movement, and then like a partially bent movement, deadlift, Romania deadlift, and then a straight leg, like a stiff-legged deadlift or a back extension. So I get all 3 planes of motion with a hamstring. And same thing for quads. I normally like to do wide, medium, narrow. Same thing, kind of all 3 different planes of motion. I feel that develops the leg the best because you never leave anything out. Everything gets worked evenly. That's it for legs. That was a wonderful leg night. Very hard, lots of sets, lots of reps, high volume. Got my buddy out here tonight, my walking partner. He's my youngest. He's the only one who actually likes to go do this with me. So leg night is amazing because it feels like you do the hardest work, but also the downside is the next day, the aftermath. It doesn't matter if you do high intensity or high volume, at least for me, it wears me out. So the next day I am just worn completely out. That's why I put legs on Friday. I used to put them on Monday, and then what ended up happening was Tuesday's workout and Wednesday's workout would suffer, and I wouldn't be very productive. I mean, I would work out as hard as I could, but it was not productive at all in the grand scheme of how hard I could train if I was fresh from not training legs. So I realized that I needed 2 days off in a row after my leg day to fully recover. And that led me to deciding, let me put it on Friday since I don't work out on Saturdays. And that gives me all of Saturday and all of Sunday to fully recover. So my soreness kicks in, doesn't matter. If I'm super worn out and exhausted, it doesn't matter. If I just want to lay around and sleep, it doesn't matter, especially because I have 3 kids, so I never really get to do that. I'm always active and busy. But what I mean is I don't have to be at work all day, being physically active, doing a bunch of heavy lifting, twisting, turning, and bending in my normal job, and then have to come home and work out and do cardio. Not just wake up, do cardio, do whatever it is I got to do during the day, and then, go about my life. And then the evenings, go on my walk, and I'm good. So if I'm sore or tired, it doesn't matter. I could take a nap, I could take 2 naps, I could sleep in, I could go to bed early. It's just more convenient having 2 days off after a hard leg day. And especially looking at all the pro bodybuilders, a lot of them, what they would do is they take a day off after back and they take a day off after legs. I don't feel I need a day off after back, but I definitely need a day off after legs. So that's what I do. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and enjoy this evening. It's beautiful out right now. It's, unfortunately, my leg night is 2 hours long. So instead of being done at 5, I am done at 6, which means it's dark out. So I'm walking around in the dark, but at the same time, it's around 70 degrees, low humidity. There's a light breeze. It's a clear night. Couldn't ask for better weather to go camping or just in general be outside enjoying the nightlife. Well, this is my nightlife, right? But it's going to be dark for quite a while now. I'm out of all the street lights. I'm going back into the far part of the street where it heads to the woods. So there's absolutely no light from here on out. You guys have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you in the next one.